Hey, free-to-play gang, welcome back to another video. Sorry, I cannot speak too loudly because of my cough, alright? So, we'll be taking Dislyte offline, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is going to be, I think, 3.1.4 update details. So, we've waited for quite a bit of time. So, here it is. Okay, so there will only be 2 new Espers, and this is quite interesting because this is going to be the first time that both of the new legendary Espers are actually going to go into the SSM Banner. That's crazy. So let's take a look at how this is going to happen. So the first Esper is going to be Brewster, aka Garmr. So he's a 5-star Inferno type, and Brewster is a durable single target fighter Esper who can assist allies to attack together. So he's not that bad, I think. It really depends on how his passive works, or rather how his passive ability works, but we're going to take a look at that as well. So his first ability, I do not know why he laughs so much, deals damage to one enemy based on Brewster's attack, has a chance to inflict defense down. Now his second ability, Fast and Furious, deals damage to one enemy based on Brewster's attack, stuns the enemy, and upon successfully stunning the enemy, you gain reload attack buff, and I'll talk about that in just a bit. Upon failing to stun, you then increase the damage of this attack by a certain percentage. Now here's his third ability, and we're going to take a look at the Ascension part. Gains reload attack and grants crit rate up to all allies, which is this garbage. We already have Dahlia, we do not need this. Deals damage to one enemy based on Brewster's attack, inflicts buff blocker, and upon a crit, erases the enemy's AP. Okay, so this is everything that we didn't really care too much about in the past. So number one, he has like a combination of Lewis in his kit in terms of single target inferno damage. He has buff blocker, which is something that Zora, I know Gaius has it, but I think Gaius does it a lot better because he does it in an AoE. And then he erases the enemy's AP as well, which is not bad, but I don't think this is the reason why people will use Sienna these days. So I assume that he might be quite interesting to use against Temporal Tower level 50, for example. You can reduce the boss AP all the way, right? And here's what reload attack does. It is undispellable, assists while an ally attacks, so it's kind of similar to Hall. Now the next attack restores HP based on the damage of this time. I'm not sure what this means, but I guess it restores a bit of his HP. While attacking, gains AP based on the number of reload attack stacks. Now each stack increases AP by a certain percentage, and the number of stacks has an upper limit. I don't think this goes up to 100% because then whenever he assists, he takes another turn. I don't know. So this is the part where he could be either very powerful or quite useless. So the thing is, if you have a lot of Espers who attacks, like for example in PvP, right, if you have an ally, an attacking skill, let's say an Ashley, then he's going to follow with a normal attack. That could be quite painful, right? And at the same time, that also increases his AP, which means that you do not need to build him with AP. So I do feel like, all in all, he is quite interesting in the sense that he does not need... Sorry, did I say you do not need to build him with AP? I mean, you do not need to build him with speed. He does not need to be built with speed, as opposed to most other DPS Espers in the game, where if you want to be competitive, you would definitely need to give them a lot of speed. So I'm not sure how powerful this passive is. If it's like Hall with like, I think what, 50%, then it's probably not that much. But if it's like 100%, then I think yes, it has a potential to be quite good. And depending on how much the AP push is, it could differentiate, right, between a rather weak ability or a very powerful ability. So not much can be said about this, but he can be drawn from the Gold Record player and the Super Senses banner. Now next is Ify. I'm not actually very sure, but this is a new 5-star Inferno type as well. So I think I'll just call her Ify for now. Ify is a fighter Esper who excels at poisoning enemies. It's a lot more than that. So Ify's first ability, Tail Whip, deals damage to one enemy based on attack, poisons the enemy. After poisoning, if the enemy is debuffed, which is poisoned, you then cast Tail Whip again, and this triggers once per turn, so you can double attack, right? And by double attacking, then you're going to land poison twice, and I believe this works really well with Avatara. Now Ify's second ability, Gust, deals damage to all enemies based on attack, inflicts speed down, and if an enemy is poisoned, also inflicts miss rate up. This is so huge. This is so huge for the Dark Starlord boss. This is incredible. Speed down, miss rate up, this is really good. And the third skill here, attacks all enemies multiple times. Each hit deals damage equal to a certain percentage of attack and inflicts poison, so it's a multi-hit that lands multiple poisons, and attack down as well. This is an incredible kit for Dark Starlord. Now, if an enemy is poisoned, absorbs a certain percentage of AP, blah blah. Okay, whatever. This is not... It's okay. It's useless for Dark Starlord, but I think you can definitely use her in some of the PvE content, like let's say your Temporal Tower, or maybe even an Infinity Tower, where the enemies have a lot of HP, so poison damage can be a little bit better as well. So I think having a new AP reducer is going to be quite useful, so I think this is where she might shine a little bit more. So mostly PvE content. And the source, she can also be drawn from the Gold Record player and the Super Senses banner. Right, so there are some new features. There's going to be a raiding to the Cube Miracle, which is... I don't know, man. I feel like they just kept increasing the difficulty of Cube Miracle, and then they reduced the difficulty of Cube Miracle by making their HP a little bit lower, and then now they're just making it super easy and just a very forgettable content by just raiding it all the way, right? But I think you can only raid up to floor 3, which means that you still have to partake in at least one single floor. Now there's gonna be some new events. Desperado, I feel like this should be the side story event, which means that we should have the mystery trader, although I did not see it over here. I might be blind. Oh yeah, I don't think this is a side story event because based on the video clip that was released yesterday, it did not show the side story event at all. So maybe we may not have the mystery trader this time around. And then next there is going to be the Brewster and Iffy probability up event. So it's going to be the same thing except that right now there is going to be an even distribution between either getting one or the other Esper. So I think depending on whether Brewster is really good or not, I may or may not decide to pull this time around. Actually, kind of think about it, I do feel like Brewster may not be that good because he needs to attack first before he can gain that buff in the first place. Yeah, if that's the case, I don't think he's necessarily going to be that good in PvP. I'm not sure. We will have to take a look. But yeah, it really depends on whether his passive effect is going to be good. If his passive effect is good, then I will summon for him. If not, I probably won't even try. Now next there's going to be warm-up match and there's going to be the new skin attached to it, which is the Louis skin. And then there is the Hollow's Eve party over here. So basically during the event, you just complete some daily tasks and all that to get story fragments, event exclusive name cards, pumpkin boxes with random rewards, blah 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 blah. But one thing that I find it very cute is this part. During the preparation phase, players can send pumpkin boxes to their friends and fellow club members. I like this. For some reason, I just feel like this is very cute. And they will also receive a gift from a mysterious Esper every single day. There is a cap on the number of times players can send and receive pumpkin boxes per day. So it's basically just like your daily gifts. But I guess we can get some other stuff from this box as well. And this one is going to be a kick to the players' nuts, man. This is the Echo event that lasts, okay, for a span of about 10 days. Just 10 days. Added Rookie Echo reward, a time-limited event available only once for veteran players who had registered prior to this update. So basically, if you played tomorrow, you are considered a veteran. Use a certain number of gold records during the event to get a variety of super value rewards. You may even get grand prizes such as legendary Espers and new Shimmer Attune legendary Espers. New Shimmer Attune legendary Espers. What? During the event, blah 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 blah. Okay, so we kind of got screwed on the Echo Tribute event, I'm not gonna lie. We got absolutely screwed. I summoned 400 times on that banner. I did 150 off camera just to get the legendary Abilimon, which is why I have 30-something thousand crystals left, which means that I'm probably not gonna do very well for this at all. I mean, I don't know why the developers do that. Anyway, moving on. So adjustments and optimizations. They increase the efficacy of your Astral Witchcraft. Holy crap, grants a 25% chance of gaining an extra turn. That's insane. I mean, okay, so Astral Witchcraft is not really used that much in PvP. Not as much as I thought people would be abusing it. And I'm very worried to see this become a little bit more meta in PvP because this, I hate RNG related stuff. But this is going to be super good for Dark Star Lord. So if you're using Astral Witchcraft on your team 1, then this is going to be amazing. I just hope not to see this in PvP or it's going to be super toxic. And take note that there are some very major updates to the Desolate lens as well. This is very important to take note. So for example, for Shadowfire, there are I think 2 changes here. Okay, so the first one is that after he summons the 8 Fiery Eyes, he would then reduce all enemies' ability cooldowns by 1 turn, which means that this would completely screw up your entire turn order, right? He's going to change up everything about your entire team. So this may or may not be a good thing because if your turn order sucked in the past, your turn order could suddenly be really good, right? But the thing is, for most players right now, this is going to be a negative. And then Shadow Prayer as well. So when Shadowfire takes a certain amount of damage, he gains a turn immediately. This is good in some cases because some of the earlier waves, you know, your damage is just like really nothing. It's not worth much. But now the problem is, like I said earlier, it's going to affect your turn order. And then moving on to Shadow Gale, this is kind of like the same thing with Shadowfire as well. So upon inflicting the Wind Chain, which is the debuff effect, you then reduce all enemies' ability cooldowns by 1 turn. I'm not sure why they decided to go with this. And the same thing for Shadow Stream as well. So make sure that you pay attention to this. Your setups might be completely ruined afterwards. Now there are some changes to Cube Miracle as well, which is when a Cube Miracle battle ends, sometimes I just close my eye and just let it run, and if I lose all my Espers in that run, they will then ask me whether I want to save or continue, and I think that's a really good change. I'm not sure what this is, and I'm quite excited to know what this is about. Optimize the point walls matchmaking rules for players with high tiers. I'm not sure, does that mean that people can now fight me because I have like too many points for people to see me or what? I'm not sure because I currently have 12,000 over points, and because of that, people are not actually able to fight me in the point wall, which is hilarious. Now this part I'm a little bit sad because I really wanted to get Freddy Skin in the Radiant M Pass, but unfortunately I think they're just gonna sell him at $20. Oh my god. Alright, so that's about it for the patch notes, and this would be 3.1.4 I think. Let me know down in the comments below what you feel about the update. Let me know how you feel about the new Espers as well. Where do you think they're gonna excel in? I feel like they are more towards PvE content. Yeah, so now that I'm taking a look at Brewster again, he's probably not gonna be so good in PvP because he kinda needs to have that first turn advantage, which he may not unless he has a speed lead. I think if he has a speed lead there, I think he can be quite insane. But I still feel like he's going to be interesting to test out nonetheless. But you know what, let me know down in the comments below how you feel about everything. I've said this already. Share your opinions, share your thoughts. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel, and subscribe for more Dislyte content. Now with that said, this has been Free to Play, and as always, I will see you in the next video.